Okay, so I'll record this video, that way you have it. And then you can look back, and when you hit 87, you can go back and see the differences.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you hold on to this then?
Yeah. So I'll send it to you once we're done,
Okay.
and you'll have everything we're talking. Everything is gonna be set.
Cool.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So what's your last name, Trace?
Mercer.
So we got Trace Mercer here. Trace, how tall are you?
6'2",
6'2", and you weigh.
185 pounds.
Okay, you're in your freshman year, going into your sophomore.
Yes, sir.
What high school?
Troy.
Troy. Okay, so we got you up to 82 in this pitch. You're about 79 to 82. Today is the hardest you've ever thrown a baseball, right?
Yes, sir.
Correct. Okay, cool. Do you feel different?
No. Feel good.
Feel good?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's watch it in slow motion. What do you think, Trace?
I think it looks pretty good.
Okay. Is there anything that maybe you've been working on recently, and maybe something that could kind of
What are things we talking about?
My leg kick, instead of bringing it out, bring it straight. bring
Keeping
my
the leg
straight
closer
up.
in?
Yes. I think it kind of comes out on these.
Ooh.
Right there. That's what I've been working with him on. Right there is that back hip. See, we watch a lot of videos and Dad's on, but he's riding in that back hip
Yeah.
and driving that hip lead, and keeping this back knee pointed out
Towards
not
you.
in.
Very good. Yep,
Okay.
that looks really good. Great job, guys. Well done. Yep, you got that hip lead. You're staying back. You got that knee out, kind of like in the squat position.
Yep.
Well, good. What else?
Like releasing the ball out front, because I used to kind of release with my chest up and then coming out front and bending my chest more.
Okay, so out in front, right?
Yep.
Okay, so you are right here at release.
Mhm.
Yeah, we could fix that. We could work
Right.
on that. That's
Yeah.
something we can definitely get better at.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're kind of straight up right here.
Yep.
And the other thing is I've tried to work with him on, and it's been tough. Is one, the back leg,
Back leg
keeping
drive,
the back leg straight, and then this front knee stiffening.
front leg. Yep,
And
that's what he's
and
missing.
That's where,
Yep.
right.
Very good. Yeah, so yeah, we need this.
Right.
That's where you'll be when you hit night.
Mhm.
So out in front, right? So out in front, just so we can clarify, does not mean the arm, right? The arm, like if you're, for example, right now, if your arm was here, that'd be wrong. You'd be out in front, but it'd be wrong
Yeah.
because you would hurt your arm that way.
Okay.
The closer the arm is to the head, the less stress we have.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So all we can really do at this point, think about your trunk as
Just
one.
moving my
Yep.
trunk forward,
So
not
we gotta,
back.
exactly,
Right.
bring the trunk down.
Okay.
And the
That's
arm's-
what needs to
so
change.
The arm is not in a bad position there.
No, because the arm rides the trunk.
Right.
The arm follows the trunk wherever it goes. It does not detach
Okay.
from it.
Right.
Okay? All right, anything else?
No, I think that looks good.
All right, so let's start at the beginning.
Right.
Okay, so the first thing I always look for is at the height of your leg kick, I want to start seeing movement down.
Mhm.
Okay, you start doing it just a little bit too late. You started it right there. As the leg was on its way what?
Down.
Down. I want to see it on the way up.
Okay.
So
Say that
as
one more time.
so
What do
as-
you want to see on the way
yeah,
up?
so as you start coming up, I want to see that hip start to move down.
Okay.
So as soon as
The
you
back
start,
hip moves.
yep. So as soon as you start to lift,
Okay.
keep going.
Right.
Oh, really?
So not-
Okay.
On the way down, that's
Yeah.
too slow. We
Right
can get
here,
more
and then
momentum if we're like,
Yeah.
boom.
Okay.
And as soon as you lift, go down.
All right.
So that's the first thing I like to work on. So that way, when you get to the height of your leg kick, now we're already here.
Yeah.
Ah.
And then by the time you do that, now we're here.
Yep.
And holy cow, we're moving.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Right.
And I think the reason why that's going to be so big for you is because of what you do right after this position. Here's what you do. You start pulling where?
Front side.
So watch where your chest is. Where's your chest right now?
More towards, like the back
What
wall.
position?
Third baseman.
Third base. So right now watch where it goes right after.
It's Which was the shortstop?
Second base, shortstop, right? Now imagine if your hips were farther down.
Mm-hmm.
That would put you in a better position to separate.
Okay.
Here's what I mean. So you,
Because I thought he was wanting to keep that front shoulder. Don't you want to keep that front shoulder closed as you're...
But the hips want to open while it's closed.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to create that hip.
the
shoulder.
hip to shoulder, yeah, but the problem is the timing of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's where you guys are missing. You guys are, the positioning is right.
Okay.
The problem is hip to shoulder separation doesn't happen until that front foot hits the ground.
Okay.
When that front foot hits the ground, that's when we measure hip to shoulder separation.
Oh.
Okay.
Nothing matters before that.
Oh.
Does that make sense? It matters how you got there,
Right.
Right.
but we only measure hip to shoulder separation when
And
you
that
hit the
right now
ground.
it's
There's none
pretty
right
even.
now. is
No,
there?
there you still have. You wouldn't be throwing 82 if you didn't have separation. He
Okay.
does have, but not as much as if he would have landed right here.
Right.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Because his
Yeah.
foot's not on the what?
No, it's not down on the ground.
It's not
right?
down.
Okay.
Does that make sense? You're getting into the right positions at the wrong time.
Okay.
Not by much. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. Not by much.
Okay.
So, yeah, so imagine, so if we can get that early hip movement, I think that'll sync you up a little bit better. This new update sucks. Yeah, I think if we can get those hips moving right now,
Mm-hmm.
then by the time you pull back, now we're farther down the mound, we're closer to front foot strike,
Okay.
and now we're getting better separation.
Uh,
The reason I also know why this is true is because watch where your glove side is when you hit the ground. See how it's gone?
Yeah.
It's tucked. The moment you tuck, that means you started to throw.
Yeah.
Throw.
Throw. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because open, yes, but the more important is throw. The later we throw, the harder we throw.
Yeah.
Because the more energy, more tension we have, more separation we have. So watch where your glove side is right here.
And
Up.
if I was landing right there.
Yeah, no, if you land there, you're Chapman.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, that's what Chapman
Yeah.
is at land.
Right.
Right.
You're just slightly early.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, Chapman's probably like right here at land.
Yeah.
He's landing already.
Yeah.
But I don't even get into that position,
Right.
if that makes sense. So that's pretty cool.
So he's
Yeah.
not too far. I mean, he's got some components working.
Yeah,
well,
if you can, so here, I'll
It
show
says
it.
the right thing, wrong time.
Correct. So watch this. Here's the easiest way to see it. So watch how your legs are at land. Okay. So that's fully, so now your hips are fully pointed where?
Forward.
Forward, right? So because your back foot, when your back heel fully turns, that means that controls the hips.
Mm-hmm.
Back foot controls the hips. So that's when the hips point forward. That's when we need what?
The
Separation. No, the upper body needs to stay where?
Close.
Closed. Not.
Okay.
Open.
And you are.
Open.
Right. Now imagine if your legs were like that and then you landed here. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It could be a mobility thing, could be a timing thing.
I'm worried about that. That's my. He wants to lift, but
Well, you got to do both.
yeah.
And the Olympic liftings keep you flexible while lifting heavier weight, depending how low your squat is and all that.
Right.
Right. Mobility, I think, is gonna be key for him.
Yeah. Biggest thing I think we could fix here with the legs, I think we could definitely get more drive off that back leg. I think a lot of it right now is rotational,
Okay.
right? So I see a lot of rotation in the back leg. I see rotation, and then right there I see a push. Okay. We're gonna work on that a little bit and try to get more of a drive off the back leg
So
as
I hear
opposed to
people say
rotation.
that rotational, but and that's when I watch Top Velocity all the time on Instagram. But you have to. I mean, I know you have to rotate at some point. Don't you?
Yeah, it's rotation and
Because
push.
he always tells the guys, "Oh, you rotate." But I'm like,
Yeah.
man, he's holding it.
Yeah.
So-
So it's more so. So the only way I know that it's more rotational than drive is because of the distance between the rubber. When I pitch, my distance, I'm about right here. So my toe is that far away from home plate.
Driving off.
Yeah. So when I land before I hit the ground, I am there.
Oh, okay.
That's how we know that it was too rotational.
Because he's not.
He's
okay.
not getting
Not
anywhere.
getting off the mound very
He's
far.
not getting anywhere. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so like you might be the same height as me, maybe a little taller, but like my 89, like I'm out here, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like out there.
Right.
Right. Okay.
But not because I have a bigger stride.
They're
It's just because
pushing
I got
forward.
closer to home, I'm farther out, and then I'm still back.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think we could get a lot more velo from there. Okay,
That's exciting.
front leg. We ain't done.
Yeah.
All right.
So you landed right here. Front leg stability. Okay, if the knee goes past that line, you don't have stability,
Okay.
which would mean you don't have control. Stability is control. I always say with control comes velocity.
Okay.
For example, if you let the ball eat, you throw as hard as you can, and it happens to go right down the middle, you're going to be like, what? What are you going to be?
That was good.
All right, let's try to throw it harder.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? But when you throw it hard and you're like, phew,
Yeah.
you're
You
like,
gotta try to throw it.
whoa, I need to
Right.
slow it down. Does that make sense? So I truly believe that with control comes speed,
Okay.
right? Because then you could go harder and harder. Oh my God, it's still there. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So stability is important. So if the knee goes past the line and we don't have stability, okay, perfect.
Pretty good.
Okay.
Great job. Now, that's why you throw strikes with your velocity. Very good.
Okay.
Now let's watch the hips.
So that front leg, you feel good. You feel like that's okay.
That's perfect.
Oh really? Okay.
Yep, front leg is perfect. That's not going to fix our chest finishing. That's going to fix our stability.
Okay.
Whether we release the ball at a good position, our head's not moving, our body's not moving forward as we're throwing, we have stability because everything till that point was moving where?
Forward.
Forward. Everything had to stop, and it did, and then you threw. That's why you're throwing strikes.
Okay.
Okay. Hips. So here's how I like to explain it. When you push off, where are your hips going?
Forward.
Where's your upper body going?
Forward. Backwards.
So when you push off, the hips go.
Forward.
Upper body goes.
Backward.
Okay. Now, when you throw, what happens?
The hips go back.
Hips go where?
Back.
Very good.
Your chest goes forward.
Upper body goes forward. Very good. Let's watch the hips.
Is this his 82 pitch?
This is
Yeah.
the 82.
Oh.
This is the last one. Yeah, I deleted all the others.
Okay.
So where are your hips going as you're throwing?
Forward. a little bit.
And
Up.
forward and up. Your hips have to go where?
Back and down.
No, that'd be impressive.
Back and up.
That'd be impressive.
Yeah.
They'd have to go back and up,
Okay.
but not this back and up.
Right.
So you-
Because what happens is the chest, and this is actually one of the things I struggled with the most. I think if I could have ever figured out how to get my chest to go here, when I threw, I think I would have been like 94, 95.
Yeah.
But I just started this too late. My body did not
Right.
want to
Yeah.
do that. Okay? Because think about it this way. So, like, you've thrown your whole life like this.
Yeah.
Me too. But I was 23.
Yeah.
The moment we change this, it's going to be heat.
Yeah.
You're not going to know where the heck is going.
Right.
Because you've never thrown from this position.
Yeah.
And
Right.
that's where 95 is.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And every time I did it was hard, but when I had to perform, meaning I was in professional baseball, did not want to get yanked and get let go because I couldn't throw a strike,
Right.
I had to perform.
Yeah.
Right.
You're a freshman.
Yeah.
You're a sophomore. We've got time.
Okay.
And if you throw 90, doesn't matter if it's a strike,
They want you.
they want you,
Yeah. They'll figure that out.
if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? But I think as good as a pitcher you are and with your age, you might actually pick this up quicker than you think
Okay.
and quicker than I think.
Okay.
Because this is all kind of still new to you. How long have you been throwing 82 for?
Today.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is all new to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you'll pick it up pretty fast.
Okay.
Especially since you've never thrown 87, maybe your body's like, well, this is what 87 feels like.
Mm-hmm.
I've been able to throw 87, 88 two different ways. One kills my arm,
Right.
and the other one doesn't.
Right.
Does that make sense?
You're gonna
Yeah.
teach them the one that doesn't.
Absolutely.
It was a rhetorical question. I knew the answer, but I wanted you to hear it.
Yeah,
Right. This is what they're gonna show you.
absolutely.
How to
So-
do it safely.
So what you have to understand is you want to fall where as you throw?
Back and up.
Backwards. I kind of do that a little bit too because we finish up here.
Yeah.
So it's gonna. So when you throw the right way, you're gonna throw, boom, and you're gonna fall where?
Back.
That.
Okay.
That's what gets you
And
into
then
that
I'm-
position.
I'm coming up and forward.
Yeah, because we never got down, so
Right.
you're like, ah,
Yeah.
damn it.
Yeah.
Same thing. If you
Okay.
ever watch back videos of me, I do that same thing.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you have to get to all. You have to try to like feel like you're pushing backwards as you're throwing, boom, and that'll shoot you down, and then you'll
Okay.
fall backwards, but your chest is already where
Forward.
and down.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just wanted to give you kind of like a mental cue, like visual, so you can kind of try to work on that on your
Right.
own. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Now with his arm slot, is this? He's got a unique arm slot.
I'm glad you asked about the arm slot.
Different than other.
Ready for this?
Yeah.
77, 79, 82.
So when I'm throwing those, I'm not here. I'm up here more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right.
I'm glad you brought that up because I noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure your arm
I'm
is
more
up.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
77, 79, and you went boom, 82.
So
Okay.
you figured it out.
Right.
Just so you know,
Yeah.
it was a completely different mechanics
Than what he was just even doing out there.
than what you were even doing out there. Absolutely.
Okay.
Just, I mean, it's right there.
Yep.
The way we would know it's sidearm is if there was less distance from the elbow and the wrist, right?
Because my arm would be down more.
Right. If your elbow and wrist were like that, then you'd be
Mm-hmm.
right?
I see.
Yeah.
Right.
they'd be closer
Right.
together.
Yep.
But you're here.
Mm-hmm.
Getting that up. That's
Yeah.
something you can work with him on.
Absolutely. Well, you'll be more consistent with it. That's what
Right.
my drills is. Top velocity drills. You're more consistent the way you warm up. Don't just
Yeah.
and throw.
Right.
No, we have drills
Yeah.
that'll constantly challenge you to work on your finish,
Yeah.
all that good stuff.
That's what I
Okay.
thought.
And that's what top V is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Love it, man.
Any questions?
Fired up.
Okay.
Good for you are, man. That's pretty
Yeah.
solid.